as previous speakers have. I'm a lawyer and a professor of law, and I talk a lot, and I could talk on this for a few hours. In fact, the first time I ran through it, I think it came out to about an hour and a half. So I'm going to do my best for 15 minutes and hopefully less to give you some time to ask questions. What we're talking about right now is, or what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now, is
Microphone. Just point it towards yourself.
is better. There we go. Is that we're actually in a disruptive period right now. We're going from one technology to another technology, and right now it's this huge jump. It's like when the computer was invented. It's like when the car was invented. All right? There's going to be naysayers at first saying, it's never going to catch on. And then there's going to be the ones that are the early adopters that are just right there. And then in the middle is everyone else. Right now with AI, that's kind of where we are, okay? But when technology makes these changes, I tend to pace. I'm trying not to pace up here and move from the microphone, sorry. When technology changes, the law has to change. And the law's really slow in changing. So right now we're in a weird period of time where we're trying to figure out, AI can do all these great things, but what is going to be protected? What's not going to be protected? We're moving from mechanical engineering, mechanical rides where you have formats and they say the same ride, even if they're created to offer some variances in the experience, they're also very stuck in what they can do. But now we're moving from that to hopefully something that's adaptive, that's immersive, that is just going to be magical, depending on how you look at it. And we are figuring it out. So basically, what AI is, it's any kind of computer system, and these are basics, any kind of computer system that, that can simulate human thinking. And then we have generative AI that it has the ability to generate context, generate content, to generate text. And then we have large language models, which are those types that are designed to generate human-like speech and be a little bit more independent on their own. And we're trying to figure how these things are going to be protected. Now, let's see. There we go. Just really quick, I want to go over what intellectual property is, at least in the context of this talk. We start with copyrights. Copyrights protect that creative thing that just, oh my gosh, this is a great idea, and I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to write a song. It's limited in only certain types of things can be protected, and it's based generally on human creativity and originality. So AI, not human, there's an issue there, okay? Then we go into patent law, which is basically for inventions. Now, we have new AIs, and we will have new AIs that can invent their own things. So we got to figure out who can own that, who gets protection for that. All right, and then we have trade secret, because sometimes all you can do is just keep it a secret. The value of your intellectual property is based on it being a secret and staying a secret. Keep someone else from taking your idea and profiting from it and copying from it. You want to keep it exclusive, and you want to keep it original to your company. So that's a very quick overdue. Overdue, that's a weird flip there. I can't even think of the word now. I got nervous, sorry. Okay, so now we're trying to look at the impact of AI on guests. Well, what is that going to be? We are able now with AI to create something that is adaptive to individuals. We can create AI now that can read your emotions, that can figure out while you're on the ride if you're having a good time, if you're okay. First time I went on Guardians of the Galaxy, if you guys have been on it, it's a beautiful ride. It's really well done. It's a wonderful ride. I will never, ever ride it again. Because while my children loved it, I came off of it just this blubbering mess of, oh my God, and no. But with AI incorporated into a ride like that, at some point, they're going to be able to say, oh, she's not having fun. Let's not make it so rough. Let's not make it so scary for her experience. And that's an amazing thing that they can do, that they're going to be able to do. In fact, Disney's already using AI for moviegoers. When you, in their tests of different movies, they have AI that just watches your face and what are your reactions. So it's coming. These things are going to just start taking over the experience that we have in theme parks. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? Okay. So when we're talking about this whole new world that we're coming to, the opportunities are pretty much, unending. It's based on what can you think of, but it's also based on what can your AI think of. Now, we do have new things that are going on that are starting to get there. So we have like Project Kiwi from Disney, which are the little robots. I'm sure you've seen video of Groot. Now, eventually, they want that to be out on their own, interacting. And they have to be safe, and they have to be able to react to people and their actions, especially children who are unpredictable at best sometimes. So eventually, that's the idea from everything I've read, to become this new AI-driven little robot that can interact with people. Now, before you had to rely on cast members. You have Turtle Talk with Crush. And I don't know if anybody remembers Push. They used to have a trash can that would wander around and would talk to you. And if you put trash in, it would say burp or say thank you or something like that. But what you weren't supposed to notice was that there was a cast member there. And it was the cast member who was guiding the experience. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where that cast member's not there. Or maybe just as a character friend who's walking around, just making sure everything's okay, but not controlling the situation. So I'm totally excited about this. Like I said, I could talk for hours on this. Universal Studios is also exploring different AIs. In fact, they are looking at patents or filing patents to also deal with emotions, to be able to read emotions. Disney has, and I always get the name wrong, so I have to read it, what exactly the Disney patent is. In 2017, they filed a patent for sensing and managing vehicle behavior based on occupant awareness. And in 2024, they filed a patent, AI-generated creative content based on shared memories. Now, patents with those inventions, that's one way to protect AI. The problem is with copyrights and with patents, it's all based on human creation. The way the law is written right now, AI cannot create and own and be the author of a patent or a copyright. So the question that we have, and I'm probably just jumping all over from my PowerPoint here. Here we go. The question that we have is, who owns this information? Is it the person who created the learning LM, the large language model? Is it the person that has created the prompt to create or tell the AI to create something? Or is it the AI who created it? Right now, no one honestly owns what the AI creates. If there's enough human interaction, the human part of the creation can be attributed to the person who worked with AI to create whatever the final product was, but not the AI created part. And that proves a problem, because especially if you've created an AI that can create AI. There is a language model, I always say the name wrong, Davis, D-A-B-U-S. And it was created specifically to create inventions. But those inventions that it created were denied protection. So we don't know. And honestly, the bottom line of my talk is, honestly, we don't know yet how these things are going to be protected other than the human element of it. So it's something to really keep in mind, because AI is not stopping. It's just going to keep going. And I just realized I have 5 minutes, so Luckily, I'm a lawyer, I can talk fast. See, I already did that. I don't keep up with PowerPoints, I apologize. With trade secrets, I do want to mention though, the algorithms that are like the brains of AI, those are something that should be kept as a trade secret, at least right now. Because if someone else gets a copy of that, it's no longer exclusive to you. It's not protected in any other way. As I said before, the value is protected, the value is protected by the trade secret. Once a secret's out, like the formula for Coca-Cola, if it's out, it's out. You can't bring back a secret. So right now, we have some way to protect some type of intellectual property for the parks, but we're not quite there yet. So let me move on down. What we want to talk about too is the different ways the theme parks can use AI. We can use AI in the retail areas to analyze people's shopping patterns, what they might want. We can use AI for ride control. We can use AI for when we're talking about wait times. How do we make those less for people? How do we just make the experience a better experience all around? In a few years, I predict, and many do, theme parks will be completely immersed in AI processes. But it's going to be in this disruptive period a little bit slower until we can figure out who gets to own it, who gets to protect it, and who gets to exploit it. Because if you can protect it, it's your exclusive right to exploit it. We do have some questions that have popped up. We saw it in the writer's strike in Hollywood. AI, is it going to take jobs? There is an AI guru called Ethan Malik, and he made a very good point in his book that AI is not going to steal jobs, but the people who know and understand AI might steal jobs. So businesses, theme parks will have to take that in consideration. Disney's task force on AI was created. They made a point of saying, we're not doing this to steal jobs and to fire people. We're doing this to figure out new tools to use to create our immersive experiences. And that's a great way of looking at it. Now, hopefully, that's the way it continues. Other ethical considerations, like I talked to you about before, is who owns it? Is it an ethical problem if AI, who creates something, isn't given the rights to it? Or that's only if we treat it as a person. Because if you created something, you would want to have the rights and the people to know that you did this. But for machine learning, I don't know. Is that an ethical issue? Something we're also going to have to figure out. The Copyright Office are in the process of creating policy on copyright. It's going to be slow. They have a multi-numbered report coming out in 2024, supposedly. So far, we've got one part. That's it. We're not anywhere near knowing anything yet. So this is why different changes needed. We need to figure this out in order to let AI grow. In order to let the creativity grow, we have to know how to protect it. So that's where we're getting to. One thing we suggest to do is, at least until we know what the law is going to do, is complete those AI audits, meaning there has to be people who are on payroll to just look at your intellectual property. What are your patents? Are your patents being protected? Is there something else you can do for your patents? We need non-disclosure agreements. Every employee who works for a company, while they're very valuable, they're also very dangerous because they could leave and take your AI with them, and thus ending your exclusivity to whatever it is that was created. And I'm running out of time, which I was afraid I was going to do. So bottom line, protect your AI. Use layered protections right now. Trademarks don't really come into play so much because brand names, brand names are brand names. But copyright, patent, and trade secrets. Layer. Build up a community or in your business that just focuses on protecting what is yours, what is valuable to you. And that's it. Wow, I did talk fast, and hopefully that made sense.